Winston Smith is a low-level member of the ruling party in London, a city in the dystopian nation of Oceania. The party controls everything and everyone, watching Winston and others constantly through telescreens. The leader of the party, known as Big Brother, is ever present, reminding citizens that they are never alone. The party even manipulates history and language, pushing a new language called Newspeak, designed to eliminate any possibility of rebellion by removing the words to express it. Even thinking against the party is a crime, the worst crime of all, known as thought crime. At the beginning of the story, Winston is deeply frustrated by the party's strict control, which bans free thought, sex, and any form of individuality. To express his inner rebellion, Winston secretly buys a diary to write down his forbidden thoughts. He also becomes fascinated with O'Brien, a powerful party member whom Winston suspects might be part of the Brotherhood, a secret group rumored to be working against the party. Winston's job at the Ministry of Truth involves altering historical records to match the party's current needs, reinforcing their control over the past. He notices a dark-haired co-worker, who seems to be watching him closely, and worries that she might be an informant ready to report him for thought crime. He's troubled by the party's lies, like its claim that Oceania has always been at war with East Asia, when Winston vaguely remembers a time when this wasn't true. The party also portrays Emmanuel Goldstein, the leader of the Brotherhood, as the most dangerous man alive, but Winston doubts the truth of these claims. Seeking truth, Winston often wanders through the poorer districts, where the working-class proles live. They are largely ignored by the party and enjoy more freedom, though they live in squalor. One day, Winston receives a note from the dark-haired girl that simply says, "I love you." She introduces herself as Julia, and they begin a secret affair, always wary of being caught by the party. They rent a room above a shop in the prole district where Winston had bought his diary. Despite the constant threat of capture, their relationship flourishes. Winston is convinced that they will be caught eventually, while Julia remains more optimistic. Winston's hatred for the party intensifies as his relationship with Julia deepens. Eventually, Winston receives a message from O'Brien, who invites him to his luxurious apartment. As an inner party member, O'Brien enjoys privileges that Winston, a member of the outer party, can only dream of. O'Brien reveals that he, too, hates the party and is part of the Brotherhood. He recruits Winston and Julia into the Brotherhood and gives Winston a copy of Goldstein's book, a manifesto outlining the principles of the resistance. Winston eagerly reads it to Julia in their rented room. Suddenly, the party's forces burst into the room and arrest Winston and Julia. The shopkeeper, Mr. Charrington, is revealed to be a member of the Thought Police, who had been monitoring them all along. Winston is separated from Julia and taken to the Ministry of Love, where he discovers that O'Brien has been a loyal party member all along, using his fake Brotherhood persona to trap him. O'Brien tortures Winston over several months, trying to break his spirit and loyalty to Julia. Winston tries to resist, but eventually, O'Brien takes him to room 101, the most feared place in the Ministry of Love, where prisoners are confronted with their worst fears. For Winston, that fear is rats. O'Brien straps a cage of rats to Winston's face, threatening to let them eat him alive. In a moment of utter terror, Winston betrays Julia, begging O'Brien to do it to her instead of him. This betrayal is what O'Brien was waiting for. Broken and defeated, Winston is released back into society. When he meets Julia again, he realizes he no longer loves her. His spirit is crushed and he now fully embraces the party's ideology, even coming to love Big Brother.